Hello guys, welcome to another Android tutorial. Today we'll talk about a very simple app that I made. It's a single screen application which has buttons, so it's a simple interactive app. It's called Scorekeeper El Clásico. It's simply an app which tracks the statistics and the score line of a match in football. Here I choose Barcelona and Real Madrid, and buttons for representing goals, fouls, yellow cards, red cards for both teams. And finally, there is a reset button. We'll start by talking about the design. Here I chose a relative layout, which is the parent of all other views. And then I will split the screen into two halves, each for each team. There is an image view, text view, buttons, and all the stuff that I talked about. And finally, there's this reset button. The view hierarchy diagram of the app contains big relative layout. It has two main children, linear layout with horizontal orientation, and a button. This linear layout contains another linear layout with vertical orientation, a view, and another linear layout with vertical orientation. These two views, the linear layout view and this other linear layout view, contains the same type of contents, which are this image view and a pair of text views and buttons, which are repeated 4 times. Let's now talk about the code. This is the relative layout that I talked about, which is match parent to fill in the whole size of the screen. And then there's the linear layout with the horizontal orientation, which is, as we can see here, with these borders. It contains two linear layouts, one for first team, which is Barcelona, and the other for Real Madrid. This linear layout with vertical orientation has the following views: an image view for representing the logo. It contains the logo, which is centered horizontally with the gravity attribute, and then a text view, which is also centered horizontally, like this view, this text view. Then this is a button, which is called goal, and the same for the rest of the views. These are for foul, and then text view button for yellow cards, text view button for red cards, and the same views will apply to Real Madrid, as you can see here. In the middle of them, as we can see, there's something that splits the screen, which is simply a view. This view has a width of 1 dp and a height of match parent in order to split the screen, as we can see here. Someone can ask a question now, which is how is this view has a height of match parent and it's not filling this parent. Let me get, and it's not filling this whole height of the parent. Actually, it's a good question. The answer of it is lies in these two lines of code. Here I chose margin bottom and margin top in order for it to not match the whole size of the parent, but to simply match these two logos with the final with these final buttons, which are red cards. Finally, there is a reset button for resetting the score in order to start a new game or a new match. So now, where's the interactive part that I talked about? I mean, what are these buttons doing when I click on it, or when I touch it, for example? The answer here is that, for example, this goal button. How is it interactive? The answer is simply when we click it, it triggers the method called goal Barcelona. This method is triggered by a simple parameter in the XML called Android on click. This method is triggered. It's a Java method, goal Barcelona is right here. It increments a variable called goal Barcelona by 1 and then display it. Let me take a step back and talk about the variables in the app. We have 8 variables, 4 for each team. They are, for example, gold Barcelona, foul Barcelona, yellow Barcelona, and red Barcelona. They represent these two represent the cars, and this represents the foul attribute. This is the goal. They are all initialized with value of 0. So when gold Barcelona is triggered or invoked, we increment the gold Barcelona variable by 1 and then display it. The logic of displaying the goal for Barcelona is very simple. First, we make an object called the score view, which is object of a text view, and we get the ID of the text view. What is this ID? Simply, this ID is right here. This text view has an ID of goal underscore FCB, which is right here. And then we set the text of it. Instead of 0, it will be the new score. There is an important point and a note here. This is we should always focus on this point. So we can make a mistake, for example, and use foul underscore FCB instead of goal underscore FCB. It's a problem because now when we press the goal button, so Barcelona has scored the goal, actually the foul text view will increase by 1, not the goal text view. To see now the application clearly and try it, let's now talk about the Android emulator. Here we can press this button. So Barcelona scored 3 goals, and then Real Madrid scored 2, and fouls, yellow cards, red cards, and all these act normally. The value of the reset button is when I click it, all these text views reset to 0, as we see here. Why is that? This is simply because when I click the reset button, it triggers a method called reset match. This method simply makes 2 main things. First of all, it resets all the scores, all the 8 variables to 0, and then display these scores on the screen as we mentioned in the display goal for Barcelona. So that's it. Thank you for watching and good luck.